Hi guys, I'm Anas Ait Nasser at Ajin Qara English. Today's lesson is going to be about the important lesson, the baccalaureate exam, conditional type 2 and type 3. So, we have here conditional type 2 and type 3. So we have two types. So today we are going to deal with the two types and we're going to see together how to distinguish between the two types and how when to know when to use this type 2 and when to use type 3. So we start basically with type 2, which is mainly about the present. So the first thing we have to know that we use conditional type 2 to refer to the present. So if we have a present situation in the present. For instance, like I don't exercise very often because I don't have time. So I don't exercise very often because I don't have time. So we notice that here the sentence is in the present, right? I don't exercise, simple present, because I don't have time, simple present, which means we have conditional type 2. So in the national exam, if you are given a sentence in simple present and then you have F, means restart this sentence as suggested. It means you have here F, so we have to start this sentence with F. This is an indication that you have conditional, but which type of conditional you have? It's here, but from which you know that you have conditional type 2 or type 3. So it's the tense of the sentence. I don't exercise very often because I don't have time. So here the present, so we have conditional type 2. Now I'd like to see the rule. Okay, look at this sentence. This is the original sentence. Now, if I had time, I would exercise very often. Okay, so what's going on? What have we done to move from here to here? So, if I had time, I would exercise very often. I don't exercise very often because I don't have time. If I had time, I would exercise very often. First thing we notice here is if I had time. Simple past, right? Simple past or past simple. I don't have, I don't have time. If I had time. So here it was simple past, simple present, sorry, and here it's simple past. That is to say, we change simple past to simple present to simple past. This is it. It's easy. So, change simple present to simple past. But wait, I don't have time. The sentence here is negative. I don't have time. If I have time, it's affirmative, right? I don't have time. Negative. If I have time, it's affirmative. Okay? So basically we change simple present to simple past and negative to affirmative or affirmative to negative. So if I have here negative form, I should change it to negative form. If I have here affirmative negative form, I should change it to affirmative form. And this is what we have here. I don't have time if I had time. I don't have time if I had time. I would exercise very often. Oh yes, so here we have would, right? Would. I would exercise very often. I don't exercise very often. I would exercise very often. Again, here we use would, right? So, and then here we have also I don't exercise. It's negative. I would. It's affirmative. That is to say, well, here also we change affirmative to negative and negative to affirmative. Always the opposite, the opposite, the opposite. Okay? So, if I had time, I would exercise very often. Okay, why here? This is because I don't have time. This is the cause, right? I don't exercise very often. This is the consequence. So please, whenever you like to change sentence into conditional, you should take the cause and you put it after F. And then the consequence after would. Here is the rule. F plus subject, I, then you have plus verb in past simple. So we take the verb and conjugate it in past simple, right? Then subject plus would plus verb in base form. Base form, infinitive, base form. Right? Good. And then we have always here, after F, we have the cause, and here we have the consequence. Always negative changes to affirmative, and affirmative changes to negative. The same thing here, consequence. Negative changes to affirmative, affirmative changes to negative. Let's look at this sentence again. James doesn't get good marks because he doesn't revise his lessons. So James doesn't get good marks, right? This is one set, one clause. He doesn't revise his lessons, another clause, right? So here the cause is this. It's evident that this is the cause and this is the consequence, okay? So if James revised, doesn't revise, simple present, negative form. If he revised, simple past, right? Simple past again, okay? Simple past, affirmative form. His lessons, he would, right, would get verb in base form, get good marks. That's it, right? Is this clear? I hope so. Now, we move on to conditional type 3. For conditional type 3, the condition to use this type of conditional, we have the sentence should be in the past. Okay? The past. Please try to pay attention to this. Read in the national exam, read the sentence first. Try to see, is it in the past or in the present? If it is in the past, then it's conditional type 3. If it is in the present, then it's conditional type 2. Okay. I didn't attend the party because I was busy. Right? So, read this sentence as if you are in the national exam. I didn't attend the party because I was busy. So, this sentence is evidently in simple past. I was busy. Simple past again. So, here we have conditional type 3. Now, let's see how we change it to conditional type 3. So, if I hadn't been busy, I would have attended the party. If I hadn't been busy, I would have attended the party. It seems here it's longer a bit. So, if I hadn't, what's this? If I hadn't, this is what we call past perfect, right? Do you still remember that? I've explained this in one of my videos. Past perfect, the form is had plus verb in past participle. So, if I hadn't been busy, I would have attended the party. I repeat again. If I hadn't been busy, I would have attended the party. So, this is the cause, basically. So, we start with this sentence. This is the cause. I was busy. This is the verb what? The verb to be. The verb to be in simple past. Then here we should change it to past perfect. Past perfect is had plus verb in past participle. And the past participle of the verb be is been. If I hadn't been busy, I would have attended the party. Right? So what's the rule then? If plus subject plus had, and always had, plus verb in past participle. Sometimes had or hadn't. Right? Subject, then subject plus would, plus had, plus verb in past participle. I repeat again, F plus subject plus had plus verb in past participle. Subject plus would plus have plus verb in past participle. Okay? Another example, James didn't get good marks because he didn't revise his lessons. The same example, but here it is in the present, here it's in the past. So, James didn't get good marks because he didn't revise his lessons. So, this is the cause. He didn't revise his lessons. So, if James had revised, see again, past perfect, had revised his lessons, he would have got good marks. So, while with for the negative form, of course, if the sentence is negative, we change it to affirmative, and if it is affirmative, change it to negative, just like conditional type 2. So, and please try to focus on conditional type 3 because it's very often it is given in the national exam. So you should focus more on conditional type 2, but don't, of course, forget about conditional type 2. Sometimes it is also given, okay? So please try to remember this rule of conditional type 3. F plus subject plus had plus verb in past participle. Subject plus would plus have plus verb in past participle. Sometimes we can also use could instead of would, right? And conditional type 2, it's basically F plus subject plus verb in past simple, subject plus would plus verb in base form. So that's all for today. If you like the lesson, try to subscribe to my channel and like the video. So thank you very much and see you next time.